Okay, this home has 3 condensing units. This is the one behind the fence. This is the north unit. It's been replaced. It's a newer unit. This tells us that it was manufactured in 2019, so it's about 2 years old. It tells us that this is a 5-ton system. This tells us that it's the newer 410A refrigerant. The electric service disconnects are not supposed to be located behind the unit like this one is. There's a nice picture of the way it's wired up. And then also this disconnect box should have been sealed on the top 3 sides. So this is probably going to be pretty consistent with all 3 of them. But this condensing unit again is the abnormality. The insulation, that hole could have been done better. Okay. So my method. Gaps around the insulation where the north unit enters the structure. Yay! It's also a 14.5 SEER rating, and that's the minimum. That's the minimum. That's why it has an asterisk there. It depends on what the equipment is actually doing. 14.5 SEER. With the indoor air handler, how it's rated, you could actually get a higher efficiency rating for that. Just to let you know, we're coming outside of the fence now. We're going to be on the south side of the fence. The structure faces south. The middle condensing unit is not level. The data plate is worn, so it's hard to get any information off of it, but I was able to. You might not be able to see any here. And it's identical to this unit. And this is the data plate for this unit. And this data plate tells us that these units were manufactured, and I read them, okay, but they were manufactured in 2004. So these are older units. It also tells us that this is R22 systems. Okay, so being R22 systems, I need to say right now that R22 is an obsolete refrigerant. It's no longer manufactured in the United States. It's no longer imported in the United States legally. Yes, there are stockpiles of it. Yes, you can still get it. Yes, it's expensive. They also sell drop-ins. You might as well put that guy on payroll if somebody puts a drop-in, because not another technician is going to want to follow you. In fact, because it is R22, just about any technician that services these is going to tell you, is going to encourage you, rightfully so, to update it. And by the way, those drop-ins, these are only like SEER 10. By the ages of them, only like SEER 10. The other one's 14.5. Like a third more efficient. So, take that into consideration. You put the drop-in, they're 10 to 30% less efficient. So there's lots of reasons not to use the drop-in, and there's lots of reasons to think about replacing these bad boys. Now, it's 40 degrees today. 40 degrees. I'm not running them. I'm not even going to bump them when it gets this low, because they're older systems, partly. Any data I collect is just a fruitful exercise, and I'm not going to be able to collect any meaningful data by running them. So, have them serviced. Just circumstances of the option period, circumstances of the weather. You see how this foam is different than the other? Okay. This foam, okay, is no longer, when these were installed, it was fine. But we no longer use it because it does this. And of course it needs to be sealed around where it enters the structure as well. And we do not have anti-theft Schrader valve caps, refrigerant service valve ports. So like the other one now, the electric disconnects are located behind the units. Not supposed to be. This is different than the other one because the other one has a swimming pool electric receptacle outlet for the swimming pool equipment, that somebody can use that. But we do not have an electric receptacle outlet for this one. Okay, for these two. Nor was it required when they were built.